What's going on, YouTube? We are back here at Blitz Games with some more Lorcana content for you using Pixelborn. As you can see in front of you, this deck went undefeated in France, and we're going to be playing with it today. It is purple and steel. It is pretty similar to the video that I posted last time. I will put a link to that one if you want to check it out as well down below. But let's take a look at this deck here. It is using all of these smaller targets for the most part. As you see, the largest ink in the deck is 3 copies of Robin Hood at 5, and then everything else in the deck is 4 or less. We have Captain Hook, Rafiki, Robin Hood for our 1-drops, Maleficent the Snake, Mr. Smee, Pinocchio for our 2s. Then we have a whole ton of 3s. Benja, Friends of the Other Side, Madam Fox, Maleficent Sorceress, Merlin Crab, Strength of a Raging Fire, the Sorcerer's Spellbook, and then we have Along Came Zeus, Merlin the Goat, Merlin the Rabbit, and Queen's Castle. The point of this deck is to get out stuff as quickly as possible and then attempt to control the board with both card draw and removal, like Along Came Zeus and Strength of a Raging Fire. You would think for a deck that has so many small costing things, you would run out of things to play pretty quickly, but it does a very good job of still keeping your hand nice and full because of all the bounce and the card draw. So let's go ahead and get into this, and I think you'll enjoy these games today. They went pretty well, so let's go ahead and get into them. Alright, our first matchup is Steel and Amber. Potential Steel Song. Potential aggro deck. We're going first. Alright, so we've been struggling with this lately. No 1-drops, which is surprising for a deck that has, I believe, 10. So we have, let's get rid of Pinocchio and Sorcerer's Spellbook along with Rabbit and Madam Mim Snake. Let's search for a 1-drop. We did not get one. Alright, we can get rid of, let's see. Get rid of Snake for turn 1, because we're going to have to play Mr. Smee turn 2. They're inking a Robin Hood into a Cinderella. Go ahead and ink our Maleficent into Mr. Smee. Keeping Benja just in case they do have Sleepy's Flute. They could have Sleepy's Flute if they're playing Steel Song, which it's more likely. Or if they're playing aggro, they could potentially have the other item, which I'm blanking on, the name. Let's go ahead and quest with Mr. Smee. Don't have many inkables, which is unfortunate. We'll ink big Robin Hood. We'll just get out Benja. I'd rather have 2 characters out for Strength of a Raging Fire. They may trade into Mr. Smee, though, with one of these. Or that. That works, too. They have their big Robin Hood. Let's go ahead and take out Cinderella. Then we can bounce Benja back to our hand, protect him from Robin Hood. We could attack, but doesn't seem too useful there, as we would just lose our Fox. There's Ariel. See what they find. World's Greatest Criminal Mind. They decide to just ink that. Noticed with Steel Song type decks, that can be an issue, is finding inkable cards. They tend to have quite a few uninkables. Let's get out our rabbit, and we got Rafiki. We can play that too. Now we could have sung Strength of a Raging Fire and took out Ariel there. Playing against Steel Song decks, you want to keep their board as clean as possible. The more they have out like this, the more they can sing. Queen is very dangerous. Would like to take that out. There's Pride Lands. Alright, so let's go ahead. We will sing with Fox to take out the Queen. Now let's get out our goat. Can't do any more questing than that. They could use Robin Hood now to take out Fox. Could potentially see Swords or a Whole New World. Put Robin Hood and Ariel on the Pride Lands. Drew into another Strength of a Raging Fire that could be helpful for us. Let's play out our Merlin Rabbit. Draw another card. Queen's Castle would be a good play for next turn. So what we can do is take out the Pride Lands with these two. Does 7 damage. That way these go back to regular health. And rather than use Merlin's Rabbit to attack Robin Hood, let's just sing Strength of a Raging Fire. That way our Rabbit stays alive, at least for now. I don't want to ink anything, being down to 2 cards. Another World's Greatest Criminal Mind. They can take out one thing. They go for our goat. That'll bring us up to 4. Now they are straight top decking now, which is good for us. Let's go ahead and get out of Queen's Castle. We can quest with the rabbits. I don't want to quest with Rafiki. We'll put 1 rabbit and a Rafiki on the Queen's Castle. If they can't deal with that, they're going to be in big trouble. We can play down a second one next. Oh, and there's a Whole New World. Top deck like a champ. We don't have a whole lot in our hand to deal with threats right now. Would love to get Ariel off the board, as she's the main singer they have right now, but unfortunately they're about to get rid of that. Well, will they get rid of Friends, or Along Came Zeus? There goes Along Came Zeus. It's very unfortunate. Maybe we can draw into another. No, we cannot. Alright, let's sing. That's tough. Really like to take care of that Ariel. That's risky. Let's just do that. We'll take care of Ariel. We can ink our Captain Hook into a Robin Hood and a Mr. Smee. They'll likely trade here unless they have Big Queen in their hand. There it is. That does let us draw a couple, potentially 2 cards. I assume they're going to trade there as well. There's Rapunzel for 2 more cards. And a second Big Queen. And a Whole New World. Yikes. Luckily for us, at least, they don't have any more ink to play with for this turn. We are going to have to deal with these queens. We did get Along Came Zeus. Let's sing that with the rabbit to get rid of Rapunzel. And we can trade with Mr. Smee and hit this other queen with our Robin Hood to go up to 12. We'll ink Robin Hood, get down a second Queen's Castle, continue to put that pressure on. They don't have any big characters out unless they do have a shiftable Cinderella, but even that can only deal 5 damage. If we had something with Rush, we can exert their Cinderella, but unfortunately we don't. So let's just get ahead and get our Mr. Smee and Rafiki. If they do have a swords in their hand, they could hard cast that right now and basically take out our whole board, besides the Queen's Castles, of course. But those are going to really put a lot of pressure on opponent right now. We are with lethal on board. Mr. Smee is not going to help them. Strength of a Raging Fire can take out 1 target. Still have lethal on board though. One more Strength of a Raging Fire to take out Mr. Smee. No longer have lethal. That'll take out our friends on the other side. The opponent was able to do quite a bit there. But still, probably not enough to win the game for them. Let's go ahead and we'll hard cast on Mr. Smee just to make sure they can't, who knows, pull some rabbit out of the hat. We'll pass turn. We'll see what they can do. I have a very hard time believing they can take out our whole board, including both Queen's Castles. There's Big Cinderella. Can take out a rabbit. But that's game. So there we go. Game 1 in the bag. Let's go ahead and play game 2. Now, if you're enjoying the content, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Really does help me out. Going second this game against red and blue. This deck seems to be very strong against decks that I play. I have a hard time beating them. Again, we don't have a 1-drop. I don't know what it is. They just don't want to give us one. So we're just going to send everything back. Hopes of getting something. And again, we did not get a 1-drop. That is so interesting. That is a quarter of our deck that we just drew. Not a single 1-drop. Interesting. Give the opponent greetings. There's Popsicle. Guess they didn't have a turn 1, but drew it like we did last game. We have 3 friends on the other sides here. Let's ink one of them. I'd rather not play Pinocchio like this, but we don't really have much choice. Second Popsicle from our opponent. The slow start may end up doing us in here. Alright, let's ink Snake. Get out Benja. We can get rid of one of those Popsicles. Quest with our Pinocchio. Would have loved if they played Fishbone Quill last turn. Could have taken that out with Benja. Oh, and of course, there it is. We can still bench Benja, but it's going to take us an extra turn to take that out. So let's go ahead first. We'll just sing. Who knows, maybe we'll get it. There we go. Second Benja. Exactly what I was hoping for. Let's get rid of our crab. Now we can get rid of that quill. Probably the most important piece of their deck is that quill. You can take care of that. It really hurts their chance to ramp. Alright, so now what we can do is go ahead and just quest for 5. Go up to 7. Let's ink our Maleficent. And that way we can put down Queen's Castle. We got to watch out for that board wipe playing against Ruby. They are at 6. There's Madame Medusa. They can take out the Benja that's on the Queen's Castle. Would love to sing Along Came Zeus this turn, but we don't have anything that costs 4 or more. But we can continue the pressure. Honestly, that might be the best choice right now. Let's just go ahead and hard cast it. Get rid of that Medusa. And then we can go ahead and put both of these on our Queen's Castle. They may end up board wiping, but that's a pretty weak board wipe. Just getting rid of Pinocchio and Benja. We are up to 12. We can play Sorcerer's Spellbook next turn. There is the Be Prepared. But that's their entire turn. So we go up to 14. Let's ink our Fox. That might be not the right move here because we are unable to bounce Goat, but I want to get both of these out this turn. Lady Tremaine. But that puts us up to 16. On our turn will be 18 and then 19 from Spellbook. So if they're unable to deal with our Spellbook, that's going to be game. And there we go. Even with our slow start, we were able to take out Red-Blue. They did get a little bit of a slow start too, but we were able to deal with their Fishbone Quill, which really probably put a damper on what they were trying to do. Let's go ahead into game 3. See if we can keep this winning streak going. I've seen more Ruby play Lady Tremaine in addition to Madame Medusa lately. At first, the meta was just switching from Lady Tremaine to Madame Medusa. Let me know what you guys have seen. Have you seen a steady combo of both or more of one than the other? Hey, we got a 1-drop this time. Look at that. Alright, let's get rid of Big Robin Hood because we don't have the little one. We can get rid of Along Came Zeus. 1 Fox. We'll keep the rest. See what we can pull out. Not bad. We are going second against potentially another Steel Song deck. That is very prevalent now, especially after it just won the most recent big tournament on Pixelborn. Alright, they're able to use the Storm Rage on. That does put a big damper in our plans as we wanted to bounce that back to our hand. So that kind of kills our turn 2. They have Bare Necessities. They have a lot of choices for that. They have Friends on the side or either of our Strength of a Raging Fire. They choose to go for Friends. Quest with Cinderella. Let's ink one of our Strengths. We can get out Maleficent. There's Benja, again, in case they have Sleepy's Flute. We can get rid of that. Those things can be a huge pain in the butt. They're inking Little Robin Hood. Got Rapunzel, not drawing any cards from that, and they are down to 3 cards in hand. We'll see if they have a whole new world. Another Let the Storm Rage on. They are doing a fantastic job at keeping our board clean. Alright, let's play our rabbit. Continue to keep more cards in hand than opponent until they play that whole new world. Could be this turn. If they don't have what they want, they could use Rapunzel to sing it. Rapunzel does... Oh, no, I'm lying to you. She only costs 4. But she can sing that. Down to 1 card in hand. We'll see if it's a whole new world. They could sing it with Robin Hood next turn. Alright, let's go ahead and try to get some characters on the board. We'll ink one of our Benjas. Let's go ahead and play out Benja and Mr. Smee. Try to get some board presence out there. Ink another Robin Hood. It is a whole new world. We got double. Along came Zeus. Would be very nice to have something to sing it. Big Cinderella. That's going to be a tough target for us. And it quests for 3. So they have a total of 7 out there. They have a 3 and 2 2s. Now along with a 1. Just grab your sword. Would love to see a fox right about now. Let's go ahead and ink Rafiki. We'll keep small Robin Hood just in case we can shift. We could use Crab to boost up one of these, so we could get 6, but -2 is only 4 damage on Cinderella. We could take out Robin Hood like that. That might be our best play right now. Use Mr. Smee to take out Robin Hood. That does let them draw a card. And we can get out Little Robin Hood. I'm assuming they're going to sing a song and potentially take out our Benja, so we'll just quest for 2 while we can. Because this Cinderella can attack ready characters as long as you play a song. They're going to use Rapunzel. And a second Rapunzel. Opponent not making it easy for us. Still would love to be able to bounce that crab back to our hand. And never mind, because there goes our crab, and then they're able to swing with Cinderella. This is not looking great for us. Alright, let's ink our Rafiki. Let's get out Robin Hood. They are able to quest for 9 up to 13 if they'd like to. It's going to be quite the challenge to get all this stuff off their board. Like I said before, you want to keep their board as clean as possible, because this is often what happens, especially when you're not playing with a Ruby deck that can just board wipe. Once Steel Song gets going, it's very, very, very hard to stop it. So they're going to quest with just about everything. Up to 13. Mr. Smee's not going to help us. Let's give the opponent a well played. Fortunately, not able to go undefeated with the deck, but still played very solidly. Enjoyed that. If you enjoyed this, please go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos that come out on a regular basis. And we'll see you again next time.